Okay, do you want to get a seat, Alamak? Okay, welcome to Tea Breaks and Beats. My name is Tea Breaks. This is an event that's been put together by the Hip Hop Historian Society. So thank you for having me host. That's always a pleasure. And thanks to Mrs Atha's, as always, for having us here. I had lunch here. It was gorgeous today. Always recommend this place. So a massive thank you to the three talented individuals that we've got with us. We've got 3 generations of hip-hop producers with us today, starting with one of the originators, well, certainly on a high-profile level. Many have said he's a genius. I know he wouldn't say it himself. But that's Mr. Tom BTI. So we're going to go in for a journey with Tom and, find out where it started, where he is now, what's going on. Hopefully we can all learn a little bit from him. And likewise. And in the middle, we've got Alamak. First met him at Cedric Avenue. Been producing for The Office. Just numerous bits and bobs. You're a bit of a producer's favourite. I think painfully underrated, but incredible production. So let's get into a bit about what you're all about today. Alamak. And the new kid on the block, Sangria Kong. Only getting 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 hits on all his YouTube videos. So something's going right for him. So we're going to find out a little bit more about, what's so hot about what he's doing. Because it's certainly working. Sangria Kong. Okay, it's you're all welcome to join in. We're recording it for a podcast. I'll edit anything stupid out, but I don't mean stupid as in swearing. It's just if it isn't working. But just feel free to fire in questions. If you're producers yourself and I'm missing things, just ask. They're here. They're not going to be here again. So, make use of that time with them. I'll just do a loose framework of the evening. But yeah, let's get as much out of them as we can. Sorry. Shall we start with Alamak? Brilliant. So, we're just going to go in, have a listen to a couple of tracks. Ask you a few questions. Again, if anyone wants to pipe in on the panel, if you want to ask any questions, you can ask each other. It's one of those nights. So we'll start with Alamak. What track have we got? Child's Play.
Ladies and gentlemen, walk on the seatbelts. Strap the ass in. We're about to put y'all in a very precarious position. Defenders of style. The Office.
I just made an impression as the beat drops messy. I heat rock the session right now. Going on Debo, aggressive, I'm a beast boy. Give a cheap boy the lesson, don't think for a second I'm off point. I'm on this, real heavy, I'm fueled off the bevy. Gone hack up your flow on your marks. Get ready to get to the confetti. I kick shit like Eddie Gordo. Bravo, I spit hard, you semi. I'm a survivor, you get picked off like a lemming. Still right, like a legend of black Ian Fleming. Though I dress like a man, you don't wanna let them in. I'm a king, one step at a time. Get 10 in and the fans, one rap at a time. Get many, trying to get there like Tom tries to get Jerry. Gonna get my piece of the pie and the cherry.
Reporting live from out the Thunderdome. Something cold coming, getting someone from the undergrowth. Stomach froze when you stood before the rebel army. Pen the dark speech to end the devil's petty heartbeat. Hard line on some terrorist derby. In a second get to level secondary carbies. See the mark of a scar in the victim's eyes. Smoke like Lex Luthor on a fat sack of the kryptonite. It's Mr. Wade. No, he friggin' ain't sniffing pain with the multi-fracture middle finger raised. The kid frustrating, didn't have an inclination. Convicted patient, put the flame up to your mission statement. Obliteration, deep in the offices. Bomb concocting, you can hear that shit hollow tick. The range novelist, the pad bleeds text. Pen a little piece, get a lease on the Queen's head.
Yo, I roll the stone's throw from my local home. Want my vocal tones, use your broken bones to build my totem pole. I talk sharp. Vast the sky, you cold heart. Walk a cold path for my course. The door march, all for one and under all. Only the proud, lonely one will succumb to fall from under lies. on the roll, stressed and tested mentally. So your soul and death will be the penalties. As life is only temporary, I'm hazardous. My language scandalous, attacking savage rappers every time the hammer hits. Laughing at you, fussy kid, your flow's a joke. Quote the flows I wrote, go for gold from the get-go. Travel next zone, strapped to my headphones. Rhyme to the death, strike with a bend, drag with a pen, reciting a gem, friend or foe. It's time to repent delivery. Scribble riddle flows over written sheets critically. Leave withered souls over city streets.
Yo, I bring the truth when I hit the booth. If I ain't chatting shit, sipping 50 proof. Kill a few rhythm tunes, sitting lick a zoo. Bust a few silly moves, flip and hit the roof. Lift the roof, clip it through for the shit they do. Fake music, the types you shouldn't listen to. We keep it dirty in the WI. I bring a couple of guys who smash from here to Timbuktu to Ras Cloud. Many rappers are half-assed. These rafts can't handle niggas with dark bars. You're dumb enough to get sparked by a parked car. I'll carve scars on your ma with bizarre cars. Like I haven't got a care in the world. She looks chocolate, so me and her are sharing a twirl. I nonchalantly batter anyone who steps in my fam, and I'll have them shaking in the booth just like a scared little girl. Yo, too many rappers acting funny with the girly ways. They're chatting shit, I'm on the door to turn these turds away. I'm never fake, I'll demonstrate the way I burn a page and terminate the best of them. The rest of them get early grave. Don't be brave because I gave your bird a pearly chain. She's got some juicy knockers, so I splurted on the virgin's face. Sent that skit away so I could lay in smoking it. If you guys are sharing 1-5, collabing on the 1st of May. I bomb like 9/11, flying round in Porsches. Fuck being cautious, I'm taking no precautions. Leaving niggas nauseous, performing chorus, I'm balling. Leave these faggots orphaned in Shoreditch. Cause I'm a bastard, sarcastic and morbid. Walk in a store with a sword that's enormous. I'll cut corners, of course it's the rawest. These others do little like they're talking to horses. We got that high grade music. Shit you can't move shit. 5-8 zoo shit. Yeah. I write bars on the cars, hard shit, old school, Linda Lasardi. We got that high grade music, shit you can't move shit, 5-8 zoo shit, shit. I write bars on the cars, hard shit, old school, Linda Lasardi. We got that high grade music, shit you can't move shit, 5-8 zoo shit. I write bars on the cars, hard shit, old school, Linda Lasardi. We got that high grade music, shit you can't.
Oh dear, we haven't got any sound on your mic. Mr. M, can we fix him up? How's that? It was working before.
1, 2, 2.
There you are.
Got it.
Brilliant. So first
Thank
track,
you.
Child's Play.
Yeah.
And the second track, Hard Shit.
As Linda Lasardi. The original name.
Do you want to talk us through putting together what should we start with? Child's Play?
Wow. Child's Play actually came after Linda Lasardi, and both of the beats kind of have a connection on the tracks, as you can say it, because so let's start with Linda Lasardi. Came off obviously Beat Battles off Cedric Avenue, which you put it together, Tony. I think it was the second time. The first time, like, it's like I was like, okay, got invited to it. I didn't know what to expect. Nervous. Made a beat, 5 minutes. Didn't know. Crying to my girlfriend. What should I do? And then, she said, just do what you do, man. What the hell? And I actually got grasp of it, and I came in third place. But then it's like, I just heard, like, Sonar Cousins beat first place, Chat Dance. Oh my God! And all these amazing producers, that inspired me to kind of do more. get serious and everything. So the second one, I was like, okay, listen now I'm about to get this guy. I was inspired, so I made Linda Lasardi, or Archie as we can say it, and I actually took some time to actually mix it better. I learned a lot about even expanding, panning instruments from side to side and sliding the bass to kind of make things even more broad and everything. So I went and I got second place and till this day he owes me my sonar. He pulled out of it. He was on the judging panel, but that then kind of it was an amazing night and everything because that specific night, me and Jack Dance were sat at the bar. I won't tell you doing what, but end of the day, enjoying ourselves, and that's when we spoke about, okay, man, we should do a project together or something. It's like Marvel versus DC. It's like also say like The Office versus DS, or DS versus The Office. And I think it was a few days after. Amazingly, DS, Lego, The Office were all in my house, in my studio, which I just made. Obviously, I made, shout out to Technico, because he just, got me loads of, samples, horror movie samples and everything. And I was like, okay, just play me some stuff, because I don't know what to do. These guys are coming tomorrow. Yeah. So and I was, I was intimidated because I didn't know what kind of beats to do, or what to kind of, push out. Should I go aggressive? Should I go, jazzy or whatever? And then he just played me the sample for Child's Play, and I was like, okay, I know what to do. I didn't sleep that night. I made the beat, and the rest is history. They came right, I think it was lunchtime, and it was fun enough, yeah. This is the first time that I learned that Lego writes in circles, right? Which is, it's amazing to have the MCs and interaction of the artists you're working with. Yeah, at the same room as opposed to sending emails. Oh yeah, send you the track or whatsoever. No, they just came down. They didn't even listen to the track. I played the beat. They liked it, and they started straight writing each their own in their own corner and everything. And that's how things happen. And it ended up being the single for the DS Office mixtape.
So that was 7 years ago, that beat battle.
Wow.
So was that you just starting out then?
Not really though. I must say that I've been I've been making beats since, I don't know, 2000, a lot earlier than that. But I pretty much wanted to get myself known and get respect for the people I actually have, for my peers. Do you understand? Because I hail from Portugal, and I came down, and I just I kind of soak in the hip hop scene. And luckily, because of you guys, great lot, Jay Bravo, Tony, Bretsky, right? Through the graffiti, through graffiti, it got me to the music, and I was like, okay, it just got me to a place where I got to meet all these amazing and artistic people, and it was just natural, yeah. So
then you got the Office together. Was that your?
I didn't get the Office together. They all came to my house. I wasn't expecting none of them. I swear to God, I wasn't, and it's a long story because I get all these elite MCs of Leeds, and they're all coming down one by one, and they're like, "Oh, I've not seen you in a long time, mate," or whatsoever. And it's like, okay, what is going on here? I didn't know about that. All I knew in my heart that I wanted to make beats, and I wanted some of the best rappers in Leeds or even UK to be on my beats as a fan. And that happened, and I'm really grateful for that because, you know, here we are, man.
Yeah, that's it. Well, just
Real
to give you,
hip-hop.
I'm going to ask all of you, but just to give you music context, who are your influences then?
Oh, my influences. Alchemist, J Dilla, High Tech. High Tech, like for Child's Play, High Tech because of his like and J Dilla for his like for their off key kind of, you know, percussion and everything, and crazy bass line and everything and all, and that pretty much gave me the inspiration to create this beat.
Yeah, fair enough. So the office came together. You've now got a studio.
Yeah.
It's a commercial studio, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose, you know, right in a space that, you know, if you want to come down and record or create music with an amazing production team, which is myself, Jay Bravo, and many others that are there, special, you know, special people there that are, you know, you're always welcome to come down and, you know, we'll do business. Or if you have a talent, if I like your music, if I like your artistic flow, let's do it for the culture.
So what was it like working with Defenders then? What are they like to work with?
No brainer.
Yeah.
No brainer. These guys, like Defenders, is most professional people, you know, I've been in contact or met with, and also really down to earth. And it's like Jack Dan's. Well, in fact, yeah, I used to work with Tricky as a chef. And he's a good chef and everything, but, you know, big up to Tricky. And he's the one who kind of made the connection, like, told him, like, listen, yeah, because he used to live near me, and he brought the guys in. But then me and Jack Dance had a session, just me and him, trying to sort out the beats and everything, get to know each other's styles and productions, what you use on it, and all. And I got to learn a lot. So yeah, big up to these guys.
That's it. So you've been sending over a new album that you've been doing, and
yeah, the Alamak menu coming out soon.
Yeah, that's because I'm interested in, like, you know, obviously we're hearing now you've met everyone, the office comes together, you got the studio. How are you getting your music out now? How do you set yourself apart in the market, as it were? How are you gonna?
Well, things are different now from when. Like, the thing is, like, I've been working on this project for a long time, and like each track kind of dictates part of my life and my experiences with the people I've worked with, because they were all like firsthand. These are my friends. They're not just working relationships and everything. I can call any of these guys and just, they're pretty much part of my journey. And I wanted to give the Leeds scene, at least my peers and the people that kind of, allowed me to be a certain position where I am or whatsoever, something that they can reflect in their own lives too. So therefore, it's like a journey. So a la carte menu is pretty much a collection since I've started to recent tracks and everything. How am I gonna do this? It's like obviously the online game. Like, you can download it on Bandcamp. And I'm about to press some vinyl as well for videos, the people and do some videos. But everything has to be kind of artistic too. And the whole concept about it as well is like it's food for thought. I've been a chef. I love food. I'm a fat guy, as you guys can see. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Only one person clapping, but it's okay. You go back to the gym. But it's something that it's really. As part of my journey as well, it has to have a concept. It has to have a flow. So if you listen to it, if you get to actually listen to this project, listen to it from top to bottom, or even backwards, however, but you have a feeling, and it's food for thought. So the a la carte menu, though.
Yeah, we look forward to that. You were wanting to ask about studio equipment, Mr. M. I think he just wants to know what you've got in there.
Pans and pots, mate.
Is that a trade secret? Is it?
Yeah, you don't need a lot of stuff to do what you do, to be honest, because like let's say like a producer that actually look up to, like Ninth Wonder and Apollo Brown. Apollo Brown still uses Skull Edit Pro. Are you kidding me? And Ninth Wonder started on Fruity Loops, not even FL. So therefore, there's an opportunity for everybody, to be honest. Like nowadays with technologies going in like full blown and advancing, and everything is kind of it's like a click. You can click and you can actually get all the sounds that you want, but at the same time, research a little bit and be yourself and discover your own sounding pattern. Yeah. That's
it. Bravo. I like that. Be yourself. I'm going to. We'll obviously be bouncing back between everybody. But has anyone got any questions for Alamak at the moment? These things usually evolve. Okay, for now, let's have a round of applause. We've got a question. Good man.
Oh no.
As in, like, when you were first in the, like, are you from, because you said you're from Portugal, right?
Yeah, from Portugal, Lisbon.
What year did you come to leave?
2003.
Yeah, how old were you?
I was like 17, pretty much.
So when you first started working and stuff like that, when you started, like, being your own person, because I assume obviously you came with family, right?
Yeah, yes.
So when you first started working and stuff, how did you balance, like, music and, like, trying to be an artist and, like, and having a job and trying to be a you at the same time?
The thing is, like, when I first came, it wasn't even, I wasn't even a music producer. I was actually a rapper. I was like, obviously I had to learn English, and I had to, obviously get acquainted with the Least Twang and everything. But I was a graffiti writer, an artist. I still am, and I use that as a tool to move forward. Thanks to King Monk, he kind of introduced me, and he gave me my first paycheck. God damn. Oh. Wow. Yeah, to do like a commission work and painting. But as the years progressed and everything, I started to delve into the music, and it's a sacrifice. But do you want to make that sacrifice to be somewhere? And do you want to what you feel in your heart? Is it something that you really want to do, or do you, there's always energy to make something creative and artistic. That's all I can say, because you can work like a 14-hour shift, but your brain is always working, and them tracks keep popping up in your head. So do it, man.
I have nothing else to say.
Thank you. I got someone at the back.
Do you want to come forward now?
I'll just project my voice.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. I think right. Thank you. I don't know if you touched this yet, but I was just wondering how Lead will support female hip hop producers, predominantly male.
We can ask that to all. So it's how will Lead support female producers in a predominantly male environment? I think it's one for all of you.
We are at the age of technology. We are at the age of exposure. End of the day, I don't consider. I don't have. There is, for me, there is an agenda in being a producer and a musician and so forth. But I don't think I don't think you should kind of pinpoint a gender into something that everybody can do, but exposing yourself more as an artist out there and getting some recognition and like getting known, like, and making connections with people, even though you think that it may be a male-dominated scene, maybe you are the mixing puzzle into this, because you can go there and rock it. It's not because you're a female that I like your beats or something like that. I like your art form. Doesn't matter what gender or color or creed that you are. So therefore, I think it's more get out there and be more confident about yourself and forget about all the politics that includes.
Tom?
Yeah, I'd add to that. I think the key thing is, and I think this is just across the board, anything creative, from my observation of it, is people don't know you exist till you exist. So, like, male or female, if you're creating art or creating productions, people have to hear them. So, I mean, there's so many avenues now, like digital avenues is just putting it on SoundCloud. So if your stuff is out there on SoundCloud, I don't know, I'm an old guy, so I don't know, Facebook or Instagram or whatever, or Snapchat, whatever's hip now, TikTok, I've got no idea. So I'm just saying words, I don't even know if they make sense in my head. But any one of these blah blahs, right, then if you're on there, you're putting them on there, you can hashtag them and everything like that. But it's like if somebody said, yeah, I'm an MC or I'm this, then you got to hear it, because otherwise it's just stuff. A lot of people say stuff, do you know what I mean? So I think fundamentally it's that, if that's what you mean, if you mean developing the skills, then that's another thing I'm sure we'll get into. But I mean, fundamentally, primarily is to get your stuff out there and to do more stuff, because each time you're doing stuff, you might think, oh, well, I'm not getting it, or oh, I'm doing this wrong, or it doesn't sound like that. But as long as you're listening, you're developing, because the more you do stuff, it's like drawing or anything like that. It's just keep doing it, you start observing, because that's what it is. You're observing and enjoy it. That's the main thing. But one more thing I would say is, and I think this is, again, I'll probably say this again, so I'll say it now because it's on top of my head, is have an aim. So like if it's production, what you want to do, if it's MCing, whatever it is, have an aim, say, this is what I'm wanting to do, as opposed to, well, I like this and I like a bit of that and I might try that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've observed the more you have an aim, the more you can have a goal and you'll have an end result. So I think the main thing, after all that preamble, 'cause I'm terrible about it, is to get your stuff out, do it, so people know that exists. Just put it online.
Sangria?
Yeah, just a little to add to it. There's a really good event down at Hope House Gallery called Leeds Producers Forum. So like submit some tunes to that and come down, meet all the producers from around Leeds. It's a really good place to network, get to know people. So yeah, I'd advise doing that as well.
Is that answered? Yeah? Brilliant. Anyone else, guys, you want to? B-Boy Phil.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, Agent M. First up, props to you guys. For me to stand here and talk amongst you giants is like, yo, I'm just a boy. But just a quick one while it's fresh in my head, to say how she was. Our dear lady here was talking about feminism, females in the craft, and how you guys were saying let that not be a barrier. Last night I've got two kids, a boy age 7 and a girl age 4, and we read a book every night to them. And the other night, my partner, she read a little book to my little girl. While she was reading that book, she go, yo, this book's for daddy, this book's for daddy. While I was reading a book to my boy, and I went, okay. Last night, my little boy, he didn't find a book. My partner, she took me this book. She went, read it. So I went, okay, I want to know what this is about. Okay, so I opened the book. This is about barriers, very powerful. And it's a wicked twist at the end, 2 minute long. So the book is called The Little Mouse and the Red Wall. Right, The Little Mouse and the Red Wall. And the story goes, there was this little mouse, and he grows up in this little village, beautiful village, very grey, loads of houses, smoke flying from the chimneys. And this village, everyone's all cozy, all the animals are in there. But this village is surrounded by this red wall. So the little mouse, he gets curious, and then he asks his friend, Fox, he goes, Mr. Fox, what's this red wall for? His friend Fox goes, little mouse, don't you know? It's to stop the bad guys getting in. Little mouse goes, oh, okay, that makes sense. Goes to his friend, Mr. Bear, why have we got this big red wall here? Bear goes, I don't know. I've grown up with it. I've been taught that this big red wall is here. I don't know why it's here. I kind of just get used to it. I live with it. He goes to his lion. It sounds like a joke, doesn't it? But it's wicked. And then he goes to his lion. Mr. Lion, why have we got this big red wall here? Lion's looking all down and sad. And he goes, little mouse, I tried to get over it. I can't get round it. I just live with it. So little mouse goes, okay. Then, just at that time, a little bluebird flies in from over the wall, outside, in. He goes, Bluebird, what's beyond that wall? What's over there? So little bluebird goes, get on my back, I'll show you. So he jumps on little bluebird's back. Bluebird flies off over this wall. Whoa, what's this? He sees trees, streams flowing, leaves falling from the trees, loads of colour, rainbows and everything. He's flying, little mouse is on this bluebird's back going, yo, Bluebird, this is awesome, man. Bluebird goes, it's good, isn't it? He goes, but what's with the red wall? This is the twist. Little bluebird goes, looks to mouse and he goes, what red wall? Mouse looks behind him, back at his village. There's no wall. It's all up in there. That wall we put up, barriers we put up for ourselves, it stops us being incredible. He goes, fly me back. Bluebird flies back. He didn't go over the wall. He walked straight through it to his friend, the fox, the bear, the lion. Bear, lion, fox, follow me. Goes over to this, and then it opens up their eyes to this beautiful world. That, like you guys say, is creativity. There's no to stop you being your own flavour. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of your female or male, forget that. Don't put that wall up. You just do your thing, and that there is no wall. You see what I'm saying? So, yo, read the book, Little Mouse and the Red Wall.
How do you follow that? I don't know where we are now. That's so yeah, that's that question answered. Brilliant. No more walls. Have we any more questions for now? Anyway, we will get more. Okay, I think we should. As I say, we will come back. There'll be plenty of questions for all of you. But for now, I think we should go on to Sangria Kong. Thanks, Alamak.
Shouts to my blood brother, you know. Yeah. Jets in the motherfucking building. Yeah. Carl. Yeah. This the way it goes. Burning daily, watching all these paper go. Girls giving fellatio, I'm rolling up to play a role. I'm just trying to save my soul and save my family without nobody else saying so. Certain niggas laying low. You know when the grass is cut, down when the snakes are show. Fake start to hate and just to hate and then you paper roll. My thoughts on exile, my bitch pin drop it. I've been busted, had my losses. The haze got me on the top floor, getting great sloppy. Niggas trying to drop me, cause they mad that they're sad, cause they don't wanna do that. Cause Cause if they pull up on the niggas, and that's guaranteed death. I told them health is wealth. Check me, you better check yourself. I just went to the bank, put in a check as well. And now my pocket's looking swell. I swear. We ain't like the move rappers out there. We ain't like the move rappers out there. I swear. We can put it on guard. We the new Italians, we like them all. On guard. I swear.
Bright purple, roll with a tight circle. Light herbal from Cali wearing Nike thermal. Write journals, spit my life, paint a pic. Most rappers make me sick, rolling with a wavy chick. Get into it, don't act like you never knew it. Gotta check and blew it, life moving reckless through it. Jet's the best to do it, flying beat to set the movement. 4K all day, 2020 nuisance.
I swear. We ain't like the move rappers out there. We ain't like the move rappers out there.
I be killing a rhythm when I be gripping a mic. Grip a quick with them fly in the blink of an eye. Spit precise, it's nice, divine, second commented. Fucking slick, ever since a younger we been running shit. Hunger, sick to the stomach, running my gums, I just come to spit enough fun with dum-dums. Better run, my click on a come up. We'll lump some funds when we plummet vibration. Yo, that's dropper sound, rocker crowd, hot dropping freeze, yeah, we lock it down. Bomb your town, my flock unique and we poppin' now. Underground, hop back to Leeds, see we got the crown. City's on lock, mush.
You man are lost.
Hey, respects to the boss, cause we ain't falling off much. No, we ain't falling off. Drop rough stars, clock enough miles up on train tracks, remain bad. Killing it straight, paid to blaze, rap space backs. Horrible face, push your face back, not nice since way back when Dagger drop laid back. Little scally chav, never worked, I trapped. Had 30 raps stashed in a Persil bag, earn your swag. Said we kill it, yeah, we murder raps. Burn up bad, that's a certain fact, the words are mad. When a beat gets played, shit like you press A, up on streets of rage. Catch a beat on a beat, what my team display. Now your man are all sweet like a pizza flake. Touche. Said you best make a move, man. Cause you ain't making moves, mate. Nah. You're my crew, great trip. Yo, I'll see you next Tuesday.
This con's nifty, done shift it. In the back of the club getting shifty. No PG kid, this ain't Disney. Not less monsters, district straight misty. Your girl's outside and crying cause she missed me. Unload the Glock and pop, you still miss me. Reclined in my seat till this Keith grade hits me. Be tied with the bass up in whiskey. Making work the next day looking risky. Fuck it. Bed dog, cartoon rappers getting shot like head dog. Watch heads roll, straight down the head roll. I'ma kill all, hope that the feds know. Fuck your campaign, vote Pedro. Gotta blow you off your mum in a pedalo. Sunny day shades on, baseline heads low. Looking like a tramp's not retro. I bust a suit, Jack Cider from Tesco. I need that sauce, Romesco. I heard your A game, I'm not impressed though. Your girl's fugly, nice breast though. 10 steps as far as this game of chess goes. 10 reps and your breath goes. Quick do techno, stay in the game while I'm done into the expo.
You're a bug, Mr. Wordsworth, a crawling insect, an ugly, misformed little creature who has no purpose here, no meaning. I am a human being. You're a librarian, Mr. Wordsworth. You're a dealer in books and 2-cent fines and pamphlets and closed stacks on the musty insides of a language factory that spews out meaningless words on an assembly line. Words, Mr. Word.
Woo! Wow, there we go. Well, it's crept up on me what you're doing actually, because I totally missed. I met you when you were doing it. Oh, well, we worked together with Elements.
That's
obviously.
right. We used to do Elements with Blakey. Jake
Yes.
Blake. Yeah.
So I saw you DJ and I knew you were into it. And the next thing you were posting a few bits on Facebook, and then your name came up on this. And then I started looking around, thinking and listening to it, and thinking, wow, this is.
Thanks, man.
You've made quite a leap. So talk us through this track, and then we'll.
Which one?
It's up to you. You've got two there. The second one was Second Coming.
The second one was a remix, the DS Farm remix. The Upper Echelon remix, who, Jack Dan's just kind of asked if I wanted to do a remix for him, and I was like, yeah. And he said, which track would you prefer to do? I had to listen through, and no one had picked the Second Coming track, and I was like, that's one of the hardest tracks on there, man. So I picked that, and he sent me over the stems, and I kind of used the stems as like the framework for the beat. What like Jack Dan's has sent me. So I kind of like stripped out like most of like the melodic side of it and the bass line and everything, and then just like used his like drum pattern, because I was just like, wow, yeah, he's kind of got that really. Jack's kind of got a signature drum pattern that I hear in a lot of DS Fam tunes, like. So I kind of like mimicked that a bit from that, and then kind of added my own like sample. In the first half, it's like samples from records. It's like a funk sample, innit? I can't actually remember what it is, but I made that one, and then I made the other one, which is like the second half of it. And I couldn't decide which one was best. Sent them both to Jack, and he was like, "Yo, just put them both together. We'll do both tunes." And I was like, yeah. So that turned out like that, basically.
And the other one?
The other one was Sleazy F and Jack Jetson. That came about from like a late night session. It was like one of them. You know what I mean? We were up till like, I think I got recorded at like 4 or 5 in the morning, man. Like the actual recording of it. But the beat itself, that's just like a boom bap sample beat that I made, man. It's like, so this is weird for me, because I'm never unusually this side of the microphone. I'm usually locked away in my studio. I don't really like talk. Like, that's just really bizarre for me. I never really talk about my music that much. But thank you very much for asking me to come down, and I appreciate it. But yeah, no, that's I make a lot of like boom bap style, just sample beats. I still dig records out in Leeds. I use my MPC 2000 to flip most stuff, and then like track it into Logic, and that's my process.
Who are your influences then, just to give context to your music?
My main influence is Madlib, I guess, is my main influence, and Dilla, obviously. Right now, Earl Sweatshirt is the boy. Like, guy's killing it. Like, amazing. It's like mad.
So when you listen to stuff like that, do you think, how are they doing that, or just I'm gonna keep going till I get to that?
I kind of feel like we're on our own path. You know what I mean? I'm fully influenced by them guys. I love their music. I listen to it daily, but I feel like we kind of carve in our own way. We've kind of like set up our own little label, Skip Class Records. You should check it out.
So who's on that label?
Luso over here, like he's part of it,
yeah.
And Jack Jetson as well. We're trying to collaborate and make something happen. Release some of our music. We've got so much music, man, that we just haven't like done anything with for years. We sat around. We make music together all the time. So it's just like we just need a outlet for it, really.
So how long have you been doing it for now? Then were you doing it when we met?
Yeah, but I wasn't really like speaking about it much or like showing many people many beats or all. But yeah, I remember the beat battle back in the day. I was like, me and my boy Hops, actually, we played at one of your events at Sedgwick Avenue.
They were hazy days for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I'm a bit.
Yeah, we did a live NPC set. Yeah, but it went wild. That was a crazy gig, that, because it all went wild, and then we had to stop the show like halfway through because it kicked off. Like, it was sort of like some mad graffiti war going on.
Yeah, I think I got glass that night. I lost my tooth. I did it for the music. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I guess I've been doing it since then. So we were playing.
That was a busy night.
Yeah, so it was. Yeah, it was. Fresh Kids.
Yeah, that was it. Fresh Kids.
So I've been doing it for a while, man.
It's a shame that not for my benefit, but it's a shame that Hub's not there now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think a lot of people met and collaborated through that place.
Yeah, there's not really any kind of hip hop focused venues in Leeds at all at the minute, I'd say. I don't think. We used to have quite a few bits going on down at Hi-Fi, but it doesn't feel like there's much happening down there much anymore. I don't know.
It's
definitely someone should jump on it. Someone should open a sick fucking hip hop.
So when I look at your 40,000 and 80,000 views and stuff, it's pretty colossal. What would you attribute that to? Why are you getting so? Because I'm assuming you're not spending thousands on marketing. It doesn't come across like that. It seems like you've got quite a generic following. What's not the word? Organic. Generic. You've got an organic following. It seems genuine.
I don't know. I guess the tracks you're referring to are like the low 5 tracks that we did with Jack, and that was a time when I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 18 or 19, and I was like, I I don't know, music was changing a lot for us in hip hop. It was kind of when like these young folk and all that was kind of like booting off. That was whole like the big thing, Drake and all that shit. And Jack was bumping all that shit, and he was like, he loves all that shit. But I don't know, and he was kind of encouraging me to make music a bit differently. We were living together at the time, and I think we just caught like a bit of a renaissance moment in like, I don't know, like hip hop, like drug culture, even. Like it's all very like, I don't know, it kind of caught something that caught people's attention. Obviously, people like the emotion we caught in it. It's pretty dark, some of it, but it's like, I don't know, we just caught something that it resonated with people, man.
Yeah, it did. Where are you going with the label then? What's the sound you're going with that?
Well, Hugo over here has just dropped the Bronze Boy EP. That's coming out on Skip Class. And my boy Luso over here is doing Mad Luso on there too. That's going to come out soon. And then we're dropping Fountainhead, which is Jack's new album, on the 1st of January 2020.
And when you say they're coming out, is it? Do you do anything? Do you do physical copies of anything, or is it all?
We'd love to. I'd love to. But it's looking at. We need to get all that sorted, man. Like, is that something that maybe in the future, merchandise, something like that, something we'd love to do? But obviously, we would need to work out.
So is it similar to Alamak at the moment? It's like a video, Bandcamp, all channels covered.
Yeah, pretty much. Trying to just get as much coverage as possible as we can for now. Just try and get our name out there, do some shows, get about a bit.
I was going to say, is the goal the shows? Is that where?
I think the shows is the chance that these guys get get the chance to shine, innit? And get the chance to like project, like tell people, like, I don't know. We spend a lot of time indoors going to a show and actually fucking giving a chance to say what you want to say, or that's important to us, you know. I love doing shows. I know these boys love doing shows, so yeah, the more the better.
I've seen it. I've seen Yugi's. It was brilliant. Yeah, so I can see what you've got going on, and it's going to be special, isn't it?
Yeah, I should hope so. Like keep an eye out, Skip Class.
So you've got a man two seats to your right who had an album out 27 years ago, which is yeah. Well, we're not ready for him yet, but I'm just saying it's like, 27 years down the line, here he is. How do you see your own longevity in this? How are you going to still be here on the seat 27 years later? Where's it going?
I'll still be making music. I'll still be making beats in that room 27 years later, probably, man. Like, I hope so anyway, you know what I mean? I just want to carry on making music, carry on releasing music when possible, working with new cool people around Leeds and from anywhere, really, like, just to collaborate and grow and progress, man.
Yeah, so at this point, it's all about the art form, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The craft, master your craft. Like,
I think this is why when we talk to Tom, it goes in cycles, doesn't it? It's the art form, and then I got to get paid, and then I got to get a house, and then it's back to the art form, and there's different cycles if you're in the game a long time, which hopefully you will be.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so, because I understand you're part of Low Life, like putting on Low Life. I've been buying Low Life records for years, man. You know what I mean? That's like, I grew up on buying like hip hop 12s from you guys and shit like that, you know. So it's like
Tom was the first release on Low Life.
The first release on Low Life.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go, man.
That was the 92 one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Jeez. Oh yeah, no, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to hear about this as well.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that's what we wanted to get over today. Really, that was the three generations coming together: the new school, mid school, and the old school. You know,
mid-school.
I think you're mid school, Alamak. Is he mid school? Yeah. Has anyone got a question for Sangria Kong?
Cool. Yeah, because you DJ and obviously you produce. Have you ever thought of kind of doing both together? Kind of like, obviously, like doing your own set with your own beats, or like, when, say for instance, your crew are like performing and stuff, you're there right in the middle, like the classic DJ kind of thing. You like thought of combining the two? Yeah, man.
I've done a bit of that with Jack before, but and as well, I'd like to, if I was to do a live set, ideally, I'd like to do it like with my MPC and do it, like play some beats straight out of the box kind of thing. I think that'd be pretty cool. But it's something I need to work on still. In good time, man. Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, the DJ sets at the minute, that's kind of what brings in a bit of money on the side as well. Like, 'cause I do a lot of DJing just around Leeds and like, Belgrave and like Water Lane Boathouse and all that. But it'd be cool to. I do drop an odd like little beat of Dowkers or whatever when I'm DJing. You know what I mean? Still play the boys' music. Play some of my music sometimes. But yeah, man.
I'll jump in with another one. You're at Elcom as well, aren't you? So
I am. Yeah.
How are you finding that? Because obviously I'm from a similar kind of background.
Okay.
How have you found that whole experience? Is it helping you? Like, have you got like a support network that's kind of helping you kind of develop those aspects and like your whole brand and obviously like your label and stuff? Is that?
Yeah, kind of. They've kind of encouraging me to collaborate with as many people as possible and like ignite as many projects as I can. So yeah, no, I guess they are encouraging that. But more for Elcom, man, the facilities down there are amazing, and I get the opportunity to use the studio as much as I want during the week, which is ideal. It's the opportunity to go back as well, man. I went back. I took 4 years out, and was blessed with the opportunity to go back. And now I feel like, obviously in a maturer head state, much better to go back and just like focus and do that now. I'm ready to do it, innit? It's good.
All right. What was the first piece? I don't know, hip hop album or even 12-inch where you really started to take notice of the production side and started to take an interest in that? Do you have anything that comes to mind as far as beats and music production?
I guess that mainly the J-Lib album, that Champion Sound album. Just like the production on it was just like, it's next, man. Like it was like the mix of how they bring like new like LA. Like hard fucking snares and shit like that, but as well as like the sample based stuff. Man, that really changed things for me. Like bringing synthesis into things and like, just not being so sample based. Cause I really love sample based music, man. Really, that's. Do you
want to all answer that one then? What's the album that sort of hit it off for you? What's the question? What particular album?
Wow.
It's a good on the spot one, that, isn't it?
Tribe Called Quest. Low Down Theory, man. Like, it's just the jazz and also my dad's music collection, because I kind of grew up like it's very visual. It was very visual for me to even see the vinyl my dad used to collect, like Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. It's just the cover that stuck into my head. And there's certain sounds that stuck into my head throughout the years. And I think, I think that Tribe Called Quest reflects that. It's just amazing. Also, Wu-Tang. That was amazing. That was actually the first album I ever bought, or CD, let's say, which is like Wu-Tang Forever. It's kind of late though if you think about it, but that I got my own money. I just went there and I felt so proud of myself, and it just spawned a love for the culture and everything. Yeah.
Tom.
I'm trying to think. The one more kind of two really, but for different reasons. The one that sticks out for me, I think it's Mecca in the Soul Brother. It was one like where I was listening to how we were putting stuff together, and I was like, oh yeah, how's he filtering that? And oh yeah, try to like Rubik's Cube it, and what's it there? Where's the dark? No, there's the dark side. There's the Dark Side, Red Man one. That one's like really powerful for me. It's just like the funkiness of it, and like the way that it's different tempos and there's different things going on, and like how like a track will bleed into another track, and just little things where I'm like, I like how it's got funk, but it's got odd grooves, with it. But that's also his flow. It's like how Redman is on that as well. So that's a better solely production hip hop wise. I'd say the one what does stick out is Mecca in the Soul Brother, because I was like, how is he doing that? And especially with the drumming and going the sounds, and I'm like, how is he doing that with the sounds, and trying to figure out how they're doing that with the sounds. But saying that RZA's production as well on 36, I liked, because it was weird. and that's what I kind of liked. He was doing some weird stuff, and then when I worked out one thing that he was doing, I was like, but I think that wasn't on that. That was on that Glaciers of Death or Ice. Yeah, Glaciers of Ice. Yeah. No, that was on that. So it isn't one thing. There's not one album. It's just different elements of different things. So, but I would say probably There Is a Dark Side is the one that sticks out for me for the production on that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely for me, for the beat one, yeah, definitely.
Talk into that mic, Tom.
Oh, sorry. For the beat one, it was between Eric Sermon and Pete Rock on them two ones where I was, how is that doing that? Why does that sound like that? Do you know what I mean? Where it was like, that's interesting, especially Pete Rock, the way he'd get some of them samples and flip them. Yeah, there's just even the filtering. There's just certain things where it's like, I like how he did that. I like how that came about. Do you know what I mean? A lot of where I'm like, yeah, that is really quite nifty, and just kind of looking and how he's flipped things around, and then me try to say, how's he flipped that? Let me try and see if I can figure out how that's done. But yeah, but there's not one album. It's just loads. But him, because that was that kind of, my stuff doesn't sound like that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? That's when I'm like, why doesn't my stuff sound like that? So yeah.
Going back to answer your question specifically, Bravo, DJ Premier, you cannot like it's someone that even to this day intrigued me so much because of the bounce and the way he cuts his records and the way he lays his samples, such like pristine and precise, cuts that, and the way he lays it and everything, uses different records to build one track is amazing. And you can never beat his drums, man. It's the way he lays it's something that is not a lot of people can kind of replicate it, and if you do, fair enough, but it's like there's always something missing because it's himself that he puts into that, into that funk. And funk, that's what we're talking about. If you don't have funk in your track, then whatever genre you do, you need to have that funk. And that's what I say, though. That's what it brings, that individuality and being yourself. And also by emulating, but then also making mistakes and chiseling things to kind of form your own, you pretty much your own production style. Because everybody can compare things, and we can compare yourself to other producers that you kind of look up to and everything. But as you progress, and it's like you start to form your own sound by your own mistakes, because you can never do a premier drum pattern. But then if you form your own, if I'm being exact, yeah.
I think it's only by like trying to imitate some of the greats at times. That's how you like learn, innit? You try it. You know what I mean? You try and make that premier beat, or you try flip something like Dillerwood, But I'd say, actually, to answer your question, Bravo, the first hip hop album I ever got was Power in Numbers by Jurassic 5, and like, I just remember like thinking DJ Newmark and Cut Chemist. I was quite young at the time. I was like, how are they actually producing this music? How? You know what I mean? I'd have thought it was like 2 turntables. I was like, nah, like there's something going on. And then I kind of looked into drum samplers and things like that, and that's kind of what ignited my interest in all that side of things.
It's not a question because you guys answered one of the questions I had down, but just to add context as a producer, the way I see it is like what you're saying is, it's like producers are like scientists, and you kind of like trying to like reverse engineer like what another producer has done. So like me and Tom had this conversation yesterday. We both were talking about like influential producers, not just because we like the beats, but the techniques. And we were like saying, Marley Marl and Pete Rock, they have these horns that like, come in and they come out. It kind of fades in and fades out, and that was something that we were both talking about. Like when I was young and I was getting into hip hop and stuff, it was that kind of thing of how can I make that work in my productions. And then you hear somebody else like Jay Didder's got his drums, and then I don't know, another producer might have their own like technique, and you kind of like trying to like figure out how do they do that, how can I incorporate in that and then make my own sound and stuff. So even like the filtering stuff that was going on with like Pete Rock and stuff.
Yeah, just to add to that, because I feel kind of like it wasn't like I said, it wasn't one thing, because I'm thinking about like Mobb Deep. They were heavy influence with their stuff. So, and Marley Marl is like probably the biggest for me, apart from like Ultra Mags. So do you know what I mean? He was like one of the biggest, because I was like, I like that sound, I want to do that. And that was before, that was even when I didn't even know what a drum machine was. But when I was thinking of things that I liked, and I was like, that always stuck in my mind when I started doing music. So that was, I know that's broader than the question you asked, but it's just because I'm thinking it wasn't one thing. It's just elements of things. And then, but perfecting, yeah, I always keep Pete Rock in mind. And same with Knots. I keep him in mind because, again, they would perfect him, because when it's hearing, but then I say DJ Quick, same thing. He's perfecting and like hearing and going, yeah, 88 keys. So I could keep going. So, yeah.
It's like, Marley Marl, he had to, the first guy to speed up something to get more time out of the sample, those kind of things, like landmarks, what changed everything. But question for you guys is, like you say, with obviously for Tom, because we've started off on Ataris and shit. So how do you find... All right then. How do you find the technology's grown, and obviously it's improved your style, but so how do you embrace technology now to back then, in that sense? Like we all use MPCs and stuff, or using digital music as we call it now. And what's your dream piece of equipment? In Sonic's ASR.
I'm going to start a dream big piece of equipment, be an SP1200 straight up. Far too expensive, man, but like I'd love one of them, man. That'd be sick.
How much are they?
Sorry?
How much are they?
I think they're like $5,000 now. They used to be like a... Nah, really? Yeah, when we were kids. Now? Yeah, man. So you speed up bare fast, don't you, to that. Sorry, in the first part of the question, technology, well, I don't know. I guess I use Logic and Ableton and stuff now, so I'm still like... finding ways to make like sounds on that. Yeah, I guess it does develop, doesn't it? They bring out new versions of it as well. So it's just kind of like keeping up with it, I guess. Like, I guess when I first went to uni a while back, and like they had all different stuff, like all different equipment, like everything was different. And now, yeah, equipment changes so quickly, man. It's just like you gotta keep up with it, really. But you just still use Fruity, innit? You're just still banging that.
'Cause I'm old.
Mid-school.
Mid-school. I like that though. I can answer that. It's the thing is for me, like, I'm still, even though I use software, I always try to revert the sound to be gritty and to kind of represent something that touched me growing up. But also, I think technology is amazing because it gave me an opportunity. I couldn't afford an MPC. And it kind of gives you, like, it gives everybody accessibility. It's there and everything, but you can do whatever you want with it as well, because you can get that polished sound or that gritty sound. So I think it's amazing, the technology progressing and going forward, but it's up to the artists to do what they want and personalize their own sound. Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm going to say, for the most part, I'm kind of instrument agnostic, really. I just want to get to the end result as fast as possible, whatever I'm thinking in my head to out. So, I mean, it's changed over the time. There's lots of things I use. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a person who I didn't even really know how to play cards, never mind the keyboards and stuff. So I was like, I was having to wait until stuff dumbed down for me to be able to get to a point. I'll tell you something. Here's an anecdote. Well, it's not an anecdote. It's something what actually occurred. Was when I first started thinking about doing tracks and making tunes, right? And I saw Drum Machine. I thought, oh, if a drum machine, what you do? And I was reading about sampling, this thing called sampling. This is like, I'm dating myself as I'm talking. But, right, got this thing. I saw this thing and it was saying, oh, yeah, something about, it was Eric B. I Know You Got Soul. And they were talking about it like it was somebody else's record. And I was like, oh, what's that? And then I thought, oh, that's how they do a drum machine. So I thought, what you did is you got a drum machine, you put on the record, and then like the drum machine would work out all the sounds from the record, and that would be it. And then you just played that. And I literally thought that was how it was. And I was like so eager to get, I was eager to, went to Fox's. There used to be a thing called Fox's and get them. And I go, the drum machine doesn't sound like that. How come it doesn't sound like, oh, it's because they haven't got a record player and they haven't put the records into it. That's how little I knew. And it was only, there was one guy, Homer, and it was this guy, and like, I heard this sound, there was a sound, was on a load of tracks that I heard, and it sounded different than everything else, the drum sound, and then he had that, and that was when I realized, oh, these things, they don't all sound the same, they all sound different, and that was when I said, I need to know what's different from what. So that's when I started looking at all the different keyboards and a lot. But as technology grew, I realized you don't need this and that. I remember I used to be a gearhead, and then Reason came and I said, I'm selling all that. I'm off to get beer with this money, and do you know what I mean? I just copy a Reason. I was good. Do you know what I mean? And that were it. Got a computer from Curry's. And then when I started figuring out computers, I said, I'm getting rid of that. I can make my own. So it was like that. It was the end result, the cheapest, quickest way that it really was. So, I mean, I don't know, you lot probably might know a thing called Beatmaker. And I was like shocked how amazing Beatmaker was and doing stuff on that. So it really has been, for me, it's more comfortable because I use Ableton and I use Cubase, but I use them for different things. And then I've got this thing because I'm interested in stuff. And I got this thing because I wasn't really an Akai guy. There was Akai and there was Ensonic, and I was like, it was too slow. All the MPC things, it was too slow for me. I'm like, no, I want it today. I want it tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I want it last year. Do you know what I mean? So everything was too slow for me. So I went Ensonic route because I never had to stop anything. It could just do anything without stopping. And then I moved on and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of a weird one when I think about certain things. It's like recently I'm working with a guy and it's all analog, and it's interesting. He's got an 808 and I had an 808, and I was like, would I want it now? Kind of like the idea of it, but would I want it now? No, because it's a pain in the ass to me. Do you know what I mean? I want this tune done now. I don't want it done a little later. I don't want to tweak. I used to make my own samples at one time, make a piano, do a track, and then go, I don't even like this tune, but I've made a piano. I've just for this song sampled the piano, made it, and then, like I said, as soon as technology started, I said, yeah, forget all that, because I don't have to know that now. I can just do this and get the end result. So to answer that preamble question, prepare for when I talk, because it's all going to be preamble, I think for me, it's whatever I'm comfortable to get the end result, or more to the point now, what I realize is it's what excites me, what makes it fun, and not feel like a task. Because sometimes you can kind of get locked in something, you're locked in a beat, and you're like, and you zone out, and it's like you can start second guessing yourself. Well, I do. It can start second guessing myself, and it feels like a task. So anything that gets me to a point where I'm like, that's what I like. So, get that less is more kind of thing. And yeah, that's right. Because the track's never finished. You just have to stop. So it's kind of getting to that. Do you know what I mean?
Hey. I think that has answered your question, Mr. Edmead. Let's flip it back to Sangria Kong and give him a round of applause. And wish him well. And we look forward to all your forthcoming musics.
Thank you very much.
And last but certainly not least, we move on to Tom BTI. Is that how you like to be referred to?
Yeah, just Tom. You. Just go.
So for my generation, mid 40s, Tom was sort of the original Leeds hero alongside Ed Mead at the back. And we went through the story last time with Ed, so we got a lot of how BTI came together, which was amazing. I think we'll put a couple of Tom's tracks on and then we'll have a chat.
Pay attention and listen, we drop bars, drop half the competition. To get knocked out of position, I bet you're wishing you had a chance, eyes glisten. Pay attention and listen, we drop bars, drop half the competition. It's too hard to get knocked out of position, I bet you're wishing you had a chance, eyes glisten. Don't stop. Pay attention and listen, we drop bars, drop half the competition. It's too hard to get knocked out of position, I bet you're wishing you had a chance, eyes glisten. Don't stop. Pay attention and listen, we drop bars, drop half the competition. It's too hard to get knocked out of position, I bet you're wishing you had a chance, eyes glisten. Don't stop.
Little kids in the street, mingle in with the sheets. Spit your wig if there's beef. Feel some green leaves, 4 juice from tea leaves. Don't repeat things that you heard a drug don't speak. You might feel heat, that shit that's prone to buzz. You never know what you might see if you're alone with us. Styles corrosive, makes chrome rust. My shit's deeper than your host crutch. We the leads, S to cold rush. Don't stop. Ain't need punk pop. You know that I've been lyrically like a red dot. It's too hot. When we mash up the spot, we are head for the top. Go we're a bit fun. It don't stop. Never has, never will. It's coming to a point I'm thinking, can we ever chill? It's too hot. It's too hot, it's true. I'm the one who you call to blow the spot for you. Spot for you. Spot for you. Spot for you.
Open minds think alike. I want to connect with BTI.
Yo, this one goes out to everyone in League City who's trying to get some money together. And the person who grassed me up, I'll find you, your mother.
I need a job, chance to live my own life. Maybe romance, touch a wife, relieve a strife, a break in the night. Bad money comes in daylight, I excite you, vroom, pay me right. I need a job, chance to live my own life. Maybe romance, touch a wife, relieve a strife, a break in the night. Bad money comes in daylight, I excite you, vroom, pay me right. I need a job.
A chance to stop eating corn on the cob, police swabs. Praying to God like I'm lost, ready to rob my boss across my next door neighbour. Doing nearly anything to justify my papers are flat. Like Yorkshire caps, the facts are plain. Maintain my goal and hold off the fast lane with weight gain. Should I be stacking shelves in short trousers? Thinking houses, burgling houses seems to be an option. But the cops are watching, squatting to see if I'm rotten or not. Like Nick Cotton. And all of a sudden it doesn't seem so bad to be selling out of a flat in Little London. It's a job.
Keep your popularity, your honey and your hoes. I wanna make the dough. We'll hit 'em with the flow. Everybody wanna make the money and the dough. Buy a little clothes. Hit 'em with the flow. Keep your popularity, your honey and your hoes. I wanna make the dough. We'll hit 'em with the flow. The ruler's back with the smoothest raps. Like a frostbitten kitten, I'm the coolest cat. Crews collapse when I prove the whack. Cause when they picture me, I improve the tracks. I love smart women, not the bougie acts. Bluesy zap in the back cause the booty's fat. Stupid prats kill themselves with booze and crack. My words a remedy for a foolish chat.
As a matter of fact, let me flash back to about 2 minutes before I started the rap track. Just to give them a chance to keep up when I leap up on stage and tell them to turn the beat up. Put your feet up like West Indian treetops. A getaway, a holiday from police stops. We'll beat cops, knock, it's hip hop. Forget pop, get 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 pop,
Now and then, I wonder when, if ever, I could get my life together, or if never, or if whether. I live my life inside the shadows, set these rhymes ablaze, amazing fire like an arrow, straight and narrow. There's a path I have to tread, instead of following the other voices in my head. Other choices end up dead, or hollow. Tomorrow, then is now another day. I have to borrow.
Maybe I'm a loser, maybe I'm a winner, maybe I'm a user, maybe I'm a sinner. All I know is a rock hard dinner and pray my day doesn't end with pocket spinner. I'm locked in a spiral, ever decreasing, fast food grease and no easing up. I wish I could chuck the whole lot in Stop spotting the mold, let go of the rotten.
Horns massive, we're so massive. 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 Sit down right now. We're so massive.
Woo! Oh, all right. Yeah, that's that was 28 minutes long, that track. We've just
Sorry, it was make a mix of yesteryear stuff, but there was the stuff what I knew was out somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Physically, so I just thought, compile it together.
So when 1992, if we can go back 27 years.
Yeah, two human beings away.
Yeah, because we're all as Sangria says, we're all fans of Low Life. How did that come about then?
Really, it was funny. Really, me and Paul, we were on a label before that. Rewinding, I'm sure Paul's probably told most of that. We were on this label called Play Hard. We kind of got together because we met at this thing ages ago called Street Sounds. Anyway, long story short, we were saying, we liked rap, and we thought, we'll do it. We were interested in doing it. So we put something together. We did some tracks, and then the label got interested in what we did, and we did one track with them, and then we were like, they were taking too long because like, I mean, we were young, and we were like, everything's taking too long. We want it now, as you are usually when you are young. So we left that label, they kind of disbanded as much as we left it, and then I remember thinking, well, we might as well just do it ourselves. So I remember I took my college money, got some college grant money, and collectively with Paul, Aaron, and Joe, we just said,
Joe being Brain Tax.
Yeah, and we says, well, look, do you know what? Shove it, because they were Brain Tax. I thought they were good, and I says, well, instead of trying to wait and do something, let's just do it, and we'll put them out ourselves. So we did that, and then I says, well, everybody thinks all hip-hop is low lives, so we're low lives and blah, blah, blah. And her girl, that's who it was. Because that's how I always thought. People think, hip-hop, whatever. It's clown music and whatever. There's never really, especially UK, never had no respect done. So I just said, well, then we are that then. So that's how it began.
So did you have a slice of that label, or were you just an artist on it?
No, all four of us. Yeah. Literally, I can remember it was walking down, I think, over there, and it went, and I says, you know what? Screw this, right? We'll do a label, we'll put it ourselves, right? We're gonna call it Low Life. That was it. It was literally like that.
So did you still have a piece of it when Skinny Man's album came out?
So by then, this is where it got interesting. So it was quite grim. A lot of these lessons were like harsh. These lessons are ones you don't want to learn. So we'd done the record. It looked like it was starting to bubble. We were on to a third single, third low free, and there was a distribution. We got distribution, and because we were literally going around everywhere for all four of us. Right, you're gonna get trained here. I'm gonna get trained to Sheffield. I'm going there. I'm going this way and everywhere else. Right, and then we got distributors said, we'll take your stuff. And we were like, thank goodness, because it's not us trudging. So we give them all the stuff. They went in receivership, I think, the next week or something like that. So they went bankrupt, where some kids who basically tried to phone up were like 2,000 on the list. So I lost all my college money because I thought, get that money back, I'll work it back. Do you know what I mean? All that was wiped out. So I just went, I'm out. And no, I think at that time, Paul, I think you were going to do something with Khalees at that time or around that time. So we kind of went, whatever. And then I went to uni. I went to Bournemouth, and Joe and Aaron went down south, and then Joe's like, do you know, there's a lot of hip hop things there. What about doing it again? And I remember I said, you continue it. You do it again. I'm down here, right, and I'll just advise. So then, basically, from low 4, the East Island thing, and I was saying, no, do this, do that, and I'd just advise, and then I gave him the equipment to do it, because he just said, I wanted to do it, and I said, take the equipment, I'm not going to use it. So all of my music equipment I gave him and showed him how to do it and blah, blah, blah. And then he'd put out that thing. So from there on, no, I can, in honesty, I'd say I advised, I tell him what not to do, because all the mistakes that I discovered, because I was doing other stuff as well. And but from that part, no, it was really kind of Joe and his certain
it's
things.
a bit Forrest Gump, though, isn't it? You were there, and it was
certain things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. At the same time, because I was doing like dance tunes and stuff as well, and then a label called Warp liked my stuff and blah blah blah. So I did some stuff with Warp. And
what did you put out with Warp?
A thing called Mind Songs. And there was some other stuff that was going to go on with Warp. But again, it's just one of them things. I didn't know. I think I just thought, oh, you do stuff and then people put it out. That's how it was only over time that I realised, oh, no, I was quite fortunate in them kind of situations. So the same thing with Warp. I literally just walked. I went, oh, it's taking too long. This is taking too long. It should be out next week. And then I remember George, who used to phone me, and said, oh, yeah, Nightmare and Wax. He'd say, oh, yeah, you know, they're waiting for you. And I'm not, I'm doing this now. I'm into video games now. And I was literally like that. I was like, I'm not doing this.
The man who walked away from Warp and Low Life.
So, yeah, because that's why I gave because it really pissed me off, the bankruptcy thing. So that's why I gave him the equipment, showed him all the stuff and said, I'm not going to have any interest in this. And then I remember I did something and somebody else liked it and then went, oh, maybe there's something in this. Do you know what I mean? Because I was down Bournemouth and I didn't even have, I think I had a keyboard and I did something out of it and somebody liked what I did on the little keyboard thing. So then I was like, it was slowly building from there. And then, yeah. And then bits and bats, really, and coming back to Leeds. Some stuff with London FFRs. A lot of stuff that was like nearly got there and things weren't quite right and blah.
Was that hip-hop stuff or other styles?
Right, well, that's where it gets all kind of interesting. There was some like London Pete Tong stuff, and that kind of showed me the first thing of like what happens when something starts to become commercial. And
was that through Phil Favisham, all that stuff?
No, do you know, funny enough, Phil Fav, that was funny actually. I think Phil Fav didn't want to sign it, really, because he was in all rave and house. And what I'd done is I'd basically got an ABBA tune. I don't know, anybody heard ABBA here? No. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But basically, I'd done this. I thought an idea of what I thought would be commercially viable and blah, blah, blah. And I'd done this ABBA tune and like, they weren't going to get ABBA, they were going to get Bjorn again. And they were talking about it and blah, blah, blah. There was a bit of buzz. But when I heard what the A&R, there was an A&R guy there, because I didn't really know what A&R were and certain things were, and like what they wanted to do with that tune. I went, holy shit. And then I was, truthfully, I was like, nah, I'm out of here. I didn't want to do this. But it taught me another lesson is, it taught me that I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll get a deal, I'll get in here, and then I'll start being able to do what I want, you know, the stuff. And it's like, no, whatever you come in with, is that's what they want. So if you do something commercial and say you get signed with commercial, that's it. It doesn't go there. It ain't going back. You don't get toughened up. It's that way. But then I've started to realize, no, you should do tough. Whatever you do, you should do the true element of whatever style or genre it is, because you want the grassroots like in your thing.
I think it's a different thing for you than it is to these artists, though, because there was real money in it when you were doing it. You could walk in and get $5,000 and $10,000 out of a label.
Yes and no, because it's different. In the industry, if you're talking about the industry, there was money then, but it's still the same rules apply. But in fact, there's more opportunity now. What I say and I believe is there's more people with more chance of achieving something now. It's just there's less money but it's like, well, what is it? Is it better that one person get 100,000 or 10 people get 10,000? Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather be the 10 than that one, and it's 10 to 1, and then you've got no chance. Do you know what I mean? So that's the kind of thing what I'd say.
I just can't imagine that Sangria is going to be bobbing in and out of labels and signing deals. I think there's a different path for him.
But I would say, but nowadays you're more informed. I had zero idea of anything. I mean, everything was a crash course in no idea of my own self, just even me as a person, because I wasn't really the only people I knew was my peers. And in fact, even then, I'm more interested in when people say, "Oh, that's crap," because if I know you're my mate, and you go, "Oh yeah, that's good," well, yeah, that's obvious, because they won't be your mate and say, "Oh, it's better if somebody says, well, no, that's all right, it's crap," and because I believe, for me anyway, I learn from that. I don't really learn from, "Oh, well, that's good," because it's like, well, yeah, people are always going to like what you do because you're doing something. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I didn't really have a lot of, I wasn't informed, and there wasn't really anything for me to get that information from. So a lot of it, and especially at that time, especially with a genre like hip hop in the UK, I mean, you're making paths. Everything that you do is like the first of you're doing it, and at the time where everybody else is thinking it's comical, so like the idea that hip hop isn't even a thing that's done by people in the UK, never mind outside of London. Do you know what I mean? It's comical. I did the Morbos. I'll never forget them. Remember the Morbos, right? Remember, because we basically, I got nominated for the Morbo, and they just made a joke of us. What? Take your top off, and remember that. And the Morbos thought it was a clown show. That's it. And that was later on. So if you rewind a lot, that was slightly later on. I'm talking, that's years after, but that's how bad it was for a long time. So there's pros and cons. There's things what I've observed, and it's like, oh, hindsight's the king of fools, innit? If I knew now what I knew then it wouldn't have been. Do you know what I mean? There's lots of things what I would have realised then, and I've gone, oh, right, there's opportunities. Same with, like, I was, not to sidetrack, but same with, like, radio, and we used to do radio shows. And if we knew we were the only hip-hop guys doing a radio show, do you know what I mean? And we were on pirate radio. And if we knew that, oh, wait, we're advertising, we can do tunes on, do you know what I mean? We never saw it like that. We just saw, oh, we're doing something, do you know what I mean? We never thought to do the connections together.
To capitalise on it.
Because, again, it was just finding a path.
So what?
Sorry, that's the beauty of the past stuff, doing it that way. That's the music that happened, isn't it?
Yeah. But do you know what's interesting, though? Looking back, I remember lots of things where when, like, disgruntlement and my own disgruntlement of, oh, well, I'm doing it. It just don't seem like going anywhere. It was when I forgot that the reason why I did this in the first place is because I liked it. When I started thinking, well, I should make money out of this, or something like that, then that's when it felt, I should get these hot chicks now, or that lot. Then, do you know what I mean? That's it, yeah? Because really, truthfully, I'm sure that was probably somewhere in there. Like, oh, yeah, if you do rap and that lot. Do you know what I mean? That's so, as you do, as a young man. So, yeah. Yes. Sorry,
what was it? No, this is good. This is good. What was the... Yeah, what?
No. I'm just thinking, like, do you know what it is? It's aspirational, but it's passion and aspiration. So I dare say it was a mix of... I don't know. Yeah, it was a mix of both, kind of in different parts that I thought, somehow, because one or two things happened, and I was like, oh, they paid us for that, or do you know what I mean? You got that. That was really interesting. Then I was like, then I connected that to some pop guy on something and saying, well, then how much must they be getting? And you know, and that's when you start forgetting what it is you started this thing for. Is because you enjoyed it and you're passionate of it.
And that's
So,
where
yeah.
you. There's obviously a million stories from there to now. Is that where you are now then?
No, it's different. Yeah. I've kind of got back to. I like this stuff, but for me, it's kind of now what I do is I've come back from London, up here, and what I'm doing is like a music development company called melodymedic.com. Check it out. So, and what I'm interested in now is the business of music, but the business of not even that is it's more the the business of creating things, creativity, and like why do people like things? How can you change something what's subjective to have more objective why, so that what you do people like, and it's kind of seeing then the connections of all right, this is why this sells, or this is why this works, and you know. I'm more interested in like with anyone I work with or the artists I'm aiming to develop is try and get them to a position where it's sustainable so that they can do it as a living, and it's not just like, oh well, I fluked it, because there's always, it's like I always say, there's always exceptions to rule, but they're the exceptions where I'd rather it be the norm, because the norm is something guaranteed. The exception is like, well, oh yeah, well, he had a record and that happened, and it's like, yeah, but then there's another 100 people who that didn't happen to, and it's trying to get it so that you're getting a consistency. So that's where I am at now, is discovering that and developing acts and stuff. But I suppose it's a weird thing. I always wanted to take a back seat to stuff and like see other people's acts come through, and you know, see other people's performances or productions kind of like executive produce stuff, if that makes sense. Really, I've always kind of had an interest in that, because I'm more interested in like how do you polish somebody's result, get it to somewhere. So that's where I'm at now and what I'm trying to do now.
So what have you been doing in London all these years?
So, good Lord, everything and anything. I went down. It was a bit shiny with like I put like I'd been producing different stuff and doing tracks and breaking the illusion. The kind of band kind of developed and went into a live band, and I started getting some stuff on doing Glastonbury, and then Radio 1 started playing stuff. Got Album of the Week on Radio 1. Wasn't too bad. And then I thought, oh, there's a bit of a buzz here. And then I did the dumbass thing and went, oh, if I'm in London, it'll be faster and work better and blah, blah, blah. So got down to London and realised, wait, I don't know anyone. Oh, dear. And that was interesting. But what was quite cool is because, and this is a thing that nobody really thinks about up here, but this is something, and it's true. Everybody's got multi-skilled. Everybody here in this room is multi-skilled. You don't think about it because this is a passion that you've done, something that you've had an interest in, and you've pursued it. So it meant you've had to go and find people who have the same passion with you. You've got to write rhymes. You've got to listen to tunes. You've got to find a producer. You've got to produce the beats yourself. You've got to kind of, you'll probably be on the social networks now and I don't know, uploading things and different things like that. And I don't know if it'll be, I'm sure it'd be easier now. I don't know, it's hard to say. When I went to London, I'd realised I'd done a load of things with a label, do you know what I mean? And how we promoted stuff, or how did I get gigs, and just little things. How did I engineer that? Because I had to do it myself, and loads of things. So when I went to London, I realised I'd be doing something, and like I was working at some club or just different things. It was weird, really. It was a mishmash of just word of mouth, and I realised, I went, oh, I'll do that for you. And then what happened after a while, it was like, oh, that's a job. Do you know what I mean? Because people pay for the things where it's like, I was going to do that anyway. And I tended to find there's a lot of complacency in London because it's a hub where you're having to make things happen up here. You have to make the things happen. So through that, I ended up being a producer. So the thing what I kind of wanted to do, is producing Soho for like boot camp rejects but it was like a baptism of fire, but a good one because I started working with artists who couldn't even talk in key and stuff like that, and people didn't know what a verse was. I remember one of the first time because this guy says, "Oh, you just have to do the music." I said, "I don't have to write no," and I was like, "Oh, this is ace." I said, "I don't have to write songs." I said, "No, I've got these acts, blah blah blah." He just come in and produce them and said, "Oh, great." Oh, and I said, "Oh, no, we've got some songs." And I remember the first day I went, "All right then, well, we've got this catalogue of songs here. So what I was thinking, we'll break it down. Maybe we'll try and work on the chorus first and blah, blah, blah." And I remember this girl was just staring at me like I was Stephen Hawkins and I was giving her some mad numbers. And then I went, "Do you know what a chorus is?" And she's still staring and she went, "No." And then I went, "Oh, good Lord, I've set up." So now I thought, well, what do I do? Do I leave or work this out? So then it was a baptism of fire. I started to say, how do you get someone who literally can't even talk in key to a level where it sounds all right? So you end up with a tune. So I developed songwriting skills. I developed a lot of techniques about song structure, which subconsciously bits were there, but to a level where it's like, no, this is a body of work. This is why this works now here. So you don't have 18 bars on a tune or something that's just dropped off something, it's weird, or why something's 3 minutes. Why is something 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes for radio? Why is that? The little kind of businessy things, what they don't tell you. So from that was good. And then like a load of tech stuff, and then become a tech advisor for clubs and like studios and some music for TV music and yeah. And somebody might have seen me on TV, so all right. I'm not going to that. If people haven't seen me on TV, you don't need to worry about it. I'll be all right. It's all right. I might have done something.
Oh, was it
on
Keith
TV,
Lemon?
and never mind. See, I had my 15 minutes of fame, and it's done now. I'm good. So yeah, bits and bats. So I was there for the most part, and it was all right. Well, amongst that, because not to bring it down, but I'd gone down as well to kind of spend more time with my dad, and my dad got sick, really, got Parkinson's, and I was doing the production and blah, 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 and then I had to make a decision, and I just did what I felt was right to me. There's no right or wrong to it. I just stopped everything to look after him. So I looked after him, and then after he passed, I was there, and I was like, I felt like I was treading water, and most of the people I know here are up in Leeds. So I thought, yeah, I'll return here, and why don't I bring my skill set back to here? Because I really do like Leeds, and I think another thing as well is I think Leeds is one of the most talented cities, musical cities as well. It's like people really like music. Because another thing as well, when I was down there, I was doing everything music related, because it wasn't just production. Because it wasn't like I was doing it for Timberlake. It was literally boot camp rejects at best, or the odd X Factor booted X Factor person, but delusional people who, delusional, like seriously. That's why, and that was another thing why I wanted to do, is because I want to tell people as well certain things where they'll get, because there's a disconnect. And I get it, there is a disconnect. Sorry, I'm preambling, so tell me when I show up, because I can't remember what the question was. There's sometimes a disconnect where, and the music industry is all about dreams, and it is because it's not music. Music is what you do in the passion. It's something you like. Somebody outside McDonald's rattling a tin That's music. That is music. Subjective, you like it or you're not like rattling a tin. But as a commodity, you have to make it the objective. Will that sell? Will rattling a tin sell? Will that is McDonald's rattle tin boy? Will he sell? So that's the thing. And sometimes people see that. So now they get McDonald's rattle tin boy, and he's up on Jonathan Ross and whatever. And some people say, oh, right, I'm getting a tin and starting rattling it. And it's like, no, there's a disconnect. No, because there's only one of that guy, and you don't know how that path was. I'll get a prime example is Adele. What I always like to say is Adele is XL signed Adele. Sony didn't sign Adele. Adele went to Sony, right? XL, Prodigy, and Dizzy Rascal and Gigs, I think, and blah, 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 and a cup of tea, slice of cake. There's a lot of other people. I'm guessing, you know, XL is a record label, I'm guessing. So they signed her because they're an independent record label. They're like Domino, same kind of thing. They have the idea, they're a large but independent. But what they do is they'll go, we'll do it, because they clock it, because they say, that'll be unique. And they go, yeah, Adele will be unique. Nobody else would sign Adele. Sony wouldn't sign Adele. Why? Because they'd be going, in their perception of it, they'd be going, well, does she sell aspirationally to the market, what we're aiming at, and blah, blah, blah. And people get it twisted, so especially with big labels, is the accounts person who deals with the accounts, he doesn't know about the A&R. So when he's looking down stuff and he's going, yeah. Who's this rattle tin boy? Oh, we're keeping him. Who is this? Some superstar Mariah Carey type singer, but they're losing money. Then she's out. They're keeping rattle tin boy. That's how it works, because they don't know who he is and they don't care. Do you know what I mean? But people don't clock that, so they'll see these kind of things. So independents take the risk, but they take strategic risks, and they knew Adele would work because like people might relate. Same with Ed Sheeran, it's relatable. So you in your mind you might go, oh, right, well I've got ginger hair, I'll be like Ed Sheeran to start. Do you know what I mean? I'll start wearing like them lumberjacket shirts and whatever. And it's like, no, there's only one Ed Sheeran. Why? Because it makes him unique. So I always try to say, don't be the next whatever, be the next best you, because that's what it is. Uniqueness is the thing that sells. So I've lost the point of the question, but yeah, it's in general, that was why I wanted to come back to leagues and then say, is to tell people is that they can be it and they can do it. And another thing what I noticed was you generate here because you're grassroots, and that's what the industry looks for. Especially now, there's plus and minuses. The plus is now is everybody gets a chance to do it. The minus is everybody gets a chance to do it. So you've got to try and stick out of all of that stuff, where back in the day there was only a few of us, but again there was only a few of us and nobody would be interested unless they were interested. So there is pros and cons to that. I don't know if that was a question you were going to ask.
No, I think you've answered it beautifully, and it's to be honest, I'm not even going to open any questions because I think you've all three of you have been sat on there for 2 hours. Tom, it's been amazing talking to you, and I've got a feeling it could go on for another 2 hours. If any of you guys want a break, I just don't. It's been 2 hours now, and I don't. You know, we could literally go on. You could be here at midnight.
Sorry, don't get me wrong. I realise another thing. I love talking about.
No,
music,
it's amazing, Tom.
so
it's amazing.
I don't want to spoil. Tell me to show up and you can go. But if you want to ask questions or whatever, that's what I'm.
If any of you guys want a break or you want to, you know, and you want to just keep on the sofa and ask a few questions, then I'm game. If you want to keep going, it's up to you guys. Do you want a break?
I'm good. So
Should we have 2 more questions and wrap it up? Yeah.
All right. Okay. Just want to close it and stuff. What's been your most successful track, and that could be for the numbers or just the thing that kind of broke you into the scene and stuff, or what it's regarding what you claim successful is for you. So
well, I think for me, success. In my mind, maybe it's wrong, but I'm as good as the last thing I did. So the most successful thing for me, what I've done, I don't think anybody's heard yet, is Swipe Right Secrets. And the reason why that is my observation of, like, when I used to write raps or write stuff, I'd put a beat on and I'd be writing, and there'd be a lot of crowbarring into things what flowed, and some parts flowed right, and some I'd listen to music and it'd be patterns. And then I've discovered a technique to do patterns so that I could always hit the pattern, because that was what always drove me to music, is the rhythm of stuff, the pattern of stuff. And then I try to make words make sense with it, kind of thing. So it was when I discovered how I could get a method to do that, where I'd be able to get a pattern structure, and I know that if you heard it through a wall, it'd be a good flow that you'd be able to go, yeah, that works. Where before, there's a lot of lucky bag writing, and then I'd be like, oh, ambidextrous, oh, there's too many syllables there, it don't flow right, it's going to have to do, it'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Where now, for me, Swipe Right Secrets, again, there's one on the internet, I think. It was when I started to make a pattern, and then I followed the pattern, and it was like, yeah, that for me was a breakthrough. So again, in that sense, it was that. Musically, though, I don't know, I haven't done that yet for myself. There's things that I've like, no, really, for each track, it's the next track for me, so it's hard for me to judge in that way.
So it was the track that I feel like broke us through. I guess it's that Boomerang's track by Jack Jets. Just kind of got a lot of popularity really quickly. Got people like messaging us about it and asking loads of questions and stuff. So that's what's like, I guess, was the most popular track that I produced. When you say like breakthrough, what do you mean, like?
It's just basically what you would feel like, you know, I achieved something with that, or what you define successful in yourself.
All right, I guess in terms of that, then would be that Lost EP that I did with Luso, because I feel like I really like the production. Like it's something that I'm quite proud of it. And I think Luso's quite proud of it as well. So it's something that, yeah, I'd say that, man.
For me, not so much of a track. It's pretty much being there in the development of the artists I've worked with, which The Office has Dialect, B Soldier, J Bravo, Technico, Zen, DJ Prolific. So to name a few, it's like 11 of us. I can't even keep up with it. But to see them flourish and to become the artists that they are nowadays, that is my most proud moment. And being able to be part of their development. I'm only scratching the surface, really, in terms of me. I've got a lot of stuff to kind of release myself as a producer, but I can say that I've been part of the history of and the story of what the lead scene is. For me, is big enough, especially coming from another country. And then, you know, being sat with you guys, you know what I mean? Yeah, fire.
Sorry, could I just add to that? Sorry. There is one thing that I is a breakthrough for me, was when I found... Yeah, no, I'll leave it. No, it'd be all right. Sorry.
You sure? All right, just...
No, no, it was when I figured out, and I'm still working through it, is when I figured out how I could make something work. So, like, how could I get something to radio and be able to figure out that strategy and be able to strategize to that. But I'm going to say it's a development thing, because now it's like, how do I get something non-commercial to radio and how I've strategized that? And that's been something where I think I'm still breaking through that. So, but that wasn't on, so it would be that. So an achievement was like how I got to Radio 1 and how I did that, and there was a method to that. But it's the development of that method now that I'd say, yeah.
All right, okay. Just one last one. Just basically, like, we'll start with you, Tom. Where can we find you on the internet?
I was going to make some corny joke then, sorry. No, I'll not say that. melodymedic.com. I've left some cards there. Please come talk to me. But if you type in melodymedic.com, that's my thing. If you type in nice things or I'm breaking the illusion, I kind of use it as a like mind music dump. So if you type in breaking the illusion or melodymedic.com, you'll find some tracks, and they're just things where I'm saying, yeah, let me just hear that's just out. Because what I used to be is not like leaving things on hard drives, and I used to be terrible. I used to just do a tune and switch it off. So now I kind of have learnt from my Irish Steppers, and he saves everything. So he says, no, save everything. But what I do is I put stuff out on there. But if you want to check me out, melodymedic.com, and I'm there. And like I said, I'm about, and I'm going to be in the market from next year, and maybe seeing Corn Exchange or somewhere else. And I'm going to be doing like a music Q&A. So if people want to know anything about something, and it's literally free, I'm just going to be there. And if I come up and they go, whatever, as long as they don't say, oh, what was Dexy Midnight's Runner's track in 1972 or anything like that, I don't mean like that. I mean, if they want to know about how do you do this, or this about compression, or even something about royalties, and I'll give them quick, say, this is what royalties are, or this is what that might be, so that at least you're informed. So, melodymedic.com.
You can find me at Kirkgate Market selling fruit and veg. Apart from the goodies, Instagram, Alamak Official, Bandcamp soon when I release my my tape, album, whatever you want to call it, or goodies as food-wise for thought. On Facebook as Carlos, my real name, which is something to do with be me, and it's the best way to contact me because I'm slack.
My Instagram's like I got two, but Sangrizzy827 is the one that's active. SoundCloud, I got beats on there. I've got a Bandcamp with like a few beat tapes on. But like I'd say, look out for the shows, because there's quite a lot of shows in Leeds that we play. So it'd be cool to see some people down there. Support your local hip hop scene, definitely.
Indeed.
Sorry, one thing. The radio as well. Mondays, 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. in the morning. So 10 a.m. in the morning till 12 on Fresh FM, Fresh Leeds, 95.5 and online. And I've got Melody Medic show there. So again, I'm going to be playing artists as well. So send me your music and check out Fresh Leeds. I'm DJing there.
Yes. Well, we never got round to that. Another time. But I wanted to thank you all for coming and sharing everything that you have done.
Thank you. Thank everybody for like it's energized me. Like I say, it's coming back and seeing that people are interested and they really want to do music. And like I say, you just have to do it. You really do. I knew nothing, and I just did it. Just went out and did it. Crash course into it, and that's the best way to do it. Follow the passions that you have, because you only have the one life that you know of. So follow the passion that you have, and it'll work because you'll enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Don't chase it for the dough. Definitely don't chase it for the dough. So yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Can we have a round of applause? Tom BTI, Alamak and Sangria Kong. Beautiful.
Yeah, this one goes out here, shout out to Joey Deacon, Joey Brain Tax, this one's for you. I guess it's just something that shady folks have. 5-minute memories over quick like on the mic. So you have a lot, grab a lot, but forgot how the life start. Hovering round high pack, hovering a nice guy, you're right, Doc. Almost sociopathic, but not a bright spark. Just a line fanatic, I'll get you breathing asthmatic. Hiding in the corner of your eye, you took it to find now. Hide it. See, I'm setting the story straight. Get your spirit level, get red devil, I'll tell the truth, and then I'll sell. This is hip hop, not heavy metal. Why you when it all comes out. Cause I'm telling everybody what you're all about. You made me keen, I would've gone and wiped the slate clean.